Today, I'm going to be ranking my Hammond Collection figures from worst to best. Let's get into it. So over the past few years, I have amassed a staggering amount of Hammond Collection figures, and today we're going to be ranking them from worst to best. I'm going to be selecting the figures I'm ranking from a giant pile of them on the floor at random, and we're going to be ranking them from a scale of best to worst. To show this, I have a green and a red item, a Charmander and a Bulbasaur. The green Bulbasaur being good, the Charmander red being bad. So, to begin my ranking, we're going to start with two figures. The two figures I've pulled up from the pile are the Ankylosaurus and the Corythosaurus. Out of the two, I'm going to have to put the Ankylosaurus as number one for now and Corythosaurus at the bottom. This will change. Figure number 3 is the Baryonyx, one of my first figures in the collection. I really like this guy. I do like him more than the Corythosaurus, but less than the Ankylosaurus, I'm going to say. So he's going to go right smack dab in the middle right there. Our next figure is one that I actually wanted to be made for quite a while. It was one of my first requested additions to the line, and that is the Pachycephalosaurus. I am going to put him, this might be controversial, but I'm going to put him just between the Ankylo and the Baryonyx for now. Once again, these rankings will all shift along, we'll find out what the result is in the end. Up next is a figure that I didn't really think I would ever get, but it is the Scutosaurus right here. He's a cool little guy, I'll give him that, but I am going to put him probably between the Corythosaurus and the Baryonyx for now. He is a very well-made figure, and is kind of an interesting one, so that's maybe why I rank him higher than the Corytho. It's a little bit more bland, and a Corythosaurus, it's just a Corythosaurus, you know, how interesting can it get? Up next is the JP3 male Velociraptor. I really like this guy. I definitely don't regret buying this figure, but we've had a lot better raptor molds since, so I'm going to put this guy, controversial, bottom of the tier for now. There's just some problems with this mold that kind of stop it from being, you know, the best raptor figure we can get, so he's the bottom for now. Up next is our first big figure. This is the Allosaurus. This is kind of interesting. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to rank this guy right now, but I will probably put him between the Pachycephalosaurus and the Ankylosaurus. This may be giving a lot of clout to the Ankylosaurus, but I just think this is a perfect figure for what it is. I like the JP3 color scheme, and I just really like this guy. Sue me. So the next figure I've pulled out is the Hammond Collection Therizinosaurus. And honestly, this is an amazing figure. So he is going to be shifting the scales here a bit. I think this guy is going to land firmly in first place at the moment. It's just a great figure. I mean, come on. How can this guy not be in first right now? Our next figure on the lineup is the Hammond Collection Parasaurolophus. This was my first Hammond Collection figure. It had a lot of hate, I think, early on from the big feet and the shape of the head mainly, but I actually really love this figure, and honestly I'm gonna put it between the Baryonyx and the Pachycephalosaurus right now. Just love the color scheme, and it just takes me back. It's very nostalgic, this kind of figure, so he goes there. Up next, I have pulled the Metriacanthosaurus. Another figure that hasn't appeared in the movies, or species should I say. This is a good figure. It's heavily based on the evolution one, which I like. But I am going to put this guy lower in the list, I think, just because I don't have that emotional attachment to him like I do with some of these other designs. So for now, I'm going to put him here between the Scutosaurus and the Baryonyx. The next figure I've pulled is the Concavinator. Now this did appear in a movie, just as a statue though. So once again, it's kind of similar in vein to the Metriacanthosaurus. I will say the articulation on this figure is pretty top notch. So I'm going to put him between the Metriacanthosaurus and the Baryonyx. I think looking at this, being in a film, you know, and being like something that's been alive on screen definitely has a weighing factor, as these three guys haven't appeared in films. They're lower in the list. They are not the worst figures on the list, but I'm kind of ranking this between how good they are and how much I like the vibe and I like the figure, you know? It's my ranking, I'll do what I want. Up next is the JP3 female Velociraptor. Same sculpt as the male, so it's probably going to go in the bottom of this list. And I honestly prefer the male Velociraptor color scheme. So see if we can shift this over here. She goes right at the bottom of the list for now. Possibly will stay there, so we'll see. Up next is the amazing Giganotosaurus. This guy is just awesome. And now I have the terrible job of trying to rank him. So give me a second to figure that out. Call me a glazer. Call me a Mattel shill. But this guy is going in first place, I think, for now. He's just great. So I am sad to announce we only have 4 figures left. Starting off the final 4, we have the Triceratops. Like the Parasaurolophus, this is a figure that has received a lot of criticism, mainly for its unarticulated jaw and its size. However, I also have a soft spot for this guy. I just really like the sculpt work. I think it's a nice sculpt. The head's a little bit off, but I just like it. I think it's a good figure. I've always wanted a Jurassic Park Triceratops, so now that I've got him, it's time to rank him. I think if I'm being fair, I'm gonna have to shift the bottom of the list here a little bit. But I'm gonna put him between the Concavenator. No. I'm gonna put him between the Metriacanthosaurus and the Concavenator. I would probably, based on how much I like the figure, put it above the Concavenator. But the Concavenator is just such like a well-made figure that it has to go above it, because this figure has too many downfalls to be riding that high on the list, you know. Up next is the Velociraptor Blue figure. I adore this sculpt. This is a great sculpt, and just a great figure. Only downfall this figure has is 1, being blue, and 2, the glass eyes in this figure are dog shit. So let's find out where we're going to put this guy. I think I have to put this guy pretty high up on the list, actually, but I'm going to put him between the Pachycephalosaurus and the Allosaurus. There we are. So we are down to our final 2 figures. Let's start with the Carnotaurus here. Man, I love this guy. He is pretty great. I love the design. I love the figure. So in terms of how much I like the design, it is going to go above the Allosaurus here. I will say that. This is maybe a better figure, but very closely. Like, they're both about as good as each other. I'd say this guy maybe has some better articulation, but come on. It's a Carnotaurus, and they did it so well, and the glass eyes are really quite good on this figure too. So the Carnotaurus is going to go right in second place for now, between the Therizinosaurus and the Giga. It's just a really good figure, and I kind of like the design more than the Theri. So, you know, whatever reasoning you want, that's it. He's there. Where am I going to put the T-Rex? I don't even know. Oh god. I do not envy myself right now. Before I rank the final figure, I'm going to make a couple adjustments to this list. I feel like the Corythosaurus has ended up being too low. I actually do really like this figure, so I'm going to move him up a wee bit. Corythosaurus is now going between Concavenator and Baryonyx. I really like this figure. It's a Corythosaurus, so it doesn't jump out at me, but when I actually do handle it and look at the figure, it's really good. So the final figure, I have been stressing about ranking this guy. It is the Hammond Collection T-Rex. This figure has been criticized to death at this point. However, I still like this figure a lot. I think it's a good figure. Obviously it needs like an update, but I mean, come on, like, it looks good. It's got a great paint scheme, it's got some great sculpt work. It's just the teeth and the feet, really, that hold it back a huge amount, in my opinion. And the feet are actually atrocious, like almost unforgivable. So in terms of final ranking, this guy's going like in the middle here, kind of towards the higher end. The figures are just usually bigger here. But he's gonna go in the middle between Blue and the Allosaurus. I think the Allosaurus is a better figure. But the T-Rex is still really good, man. He just needs an update. Some of these older guys just can't keep up with these 4 figures especially. These are amazing. The Ankylosaurus, I don't know what he's doing here, but I just really like this figure. But, you know, this guy was really good at the time, apart from those goddamn feet. So he's gonna go there, you know? I think that's my final rating here. This is my ranking, I guess. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Hopefully I'll get some new figures soon, and I guess over some time we'll maybe do this again if you guys enjoyed it. But yeah, leave a like below, subscribe, comment. What do you guys think about this ranking? Because you'll probably disagree. Give me your outrageous takes below. Tell me that the JP3 female is the best Hammond Collection figure.